9. Check the radio, pit crew is far from slow. The lights no longer yellow. Ready, steady, go. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 In love with the ride. Burning rubber smells real nice. Fuel it up once or twice. Come on, fast is the way to drive. Crowds all on their feet, not one bothered by the heat. Imagine them in the driver's seat. Checkered flag would be sweet. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 Everybody get ready. On your feet. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Crank it up. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 Crank it up.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, live here in Concord, North Carolina, the Spartan Logistics Management LLC iRacing IROC Series is about to take center stage and take center aim yet again here on the track as race number 14 comes alive here on the show and onto the railways. We are approaching playoff contention, but drivers have only just begun their hunt for the crown. Hi everyone, I am the Crusader Christian Schreiber joining you here tonight. Welcome to Charlotte Motor Speedway here, and welcome to this 1.5 mile long in-bank track that really has been a thorn in many drivers' sides and a tough track to master and deal with over the course of many time periods and many courses around this circuit and around the series. It's been a mainstay for NASCAR drivers as much as it has been for the elite of elitists when it comes to racing on this very tough track. Let's take a look at our starting lineup up here for the start of this one. Brian McCann is going to be in the number 3 is outside. Neil Quick will be in the number 2. Row number 2 is David E. Brown. 7 is outside. Cody Harger pilots up to 66. Row number 3, Brandon Medford will be in the 8. 3 is outside. Vincent Short pilots up to 15. Row number 4 is Brian Rose in the 89. It's outside. Tim Schofield in that 12. Row number 5 is Carson Conway in the 82 is outside. Chris Wally in the 5. Row number 6, Hunter Clark in the 18 is outside. Cook Quick as he pilots up to number 54. Row number 7, that's going to be piloted down on the ends by Mr. Doug Wysocki in 34, is outside Matt Kopp in the 22. Row number 8 is going to be Kyle Pengraff in the 14 is outside David Tremblay in the 96. Row 9, Chris Medford in the 46 is outside Dakota Clark in the 38. Row 10 sees Troy Radford in the 94. And Jeff Napier on the 40 is outside. Aaron Smith is the final starter in the number 1. Solid crew, solid lineup, heavy amount of racing, heavy amount of action here on Pete's Race TV, just the way we like it. The field will pilot them down off turn number 3 and 4 this time on by here. Get ready for some action, get ready for some hard racing as they come down off of turn number 4. Brian McCann leads the charge. He'll show the boys a way in a car that's been known to, well, shall we say, put it into victory lane a few times here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Let's see if he can put that old blue and yellow design to work here as McCann gets off the start. Trouble down there already. We've got problems for the 7. David E. Brown did not get off the line here. Slides the car into pit road, and that is not the start you would hope to see from a driver like that. No caution there. Gonna let them go firing off here. I think really that's one thing that's going to show you how difficult these cars are. 670 horsepower versus 550 horsepower. Yeah, they're not going to get around a lot of areas here. They're going to have a lot of headaches to deal with. You don't get brakes around here. You don't get any chances to really survive and conquer. You best be watching yourself every single turn, every single moment here. Because if you don't, well, let's just say that Charlotte has a way of kind of making sure you regret doing that. I watched early on for that tire burn, the burn off on the cars here, kind of slowing them up and really getting them a little bit fired in down. A lot of drivers are going to be struggling off these exits once the tires start to kind of kick in a bit and start to loosen up. If you see right there, tightening up the ends there, the 6'6" Cody Harger takes full advantage of Neil Quick, the defending points leader right now. Not the defending champion though. Aaron Smith has got that one still in his hands. Brandon Medford though going to make the move off on the 2 as he piles it right off turn number 1. Tim Schofield, the number 12 here now, looking to make a charge and looking at a little fire down off Brian Rose here in the 89 as he starts to mount his fight. 150 laps here today at Concord. This was going to be a very big selling point to me. It's just how well can every single one of these drivers hold their line down, hold themselves into play. Neil Quick right now, major struggles right now in that number 2. Saw him spin out there off turn 4 a little bit. Got the car squared away on the front straightaway, but he is struggling here. He's getting some damage on it, more than I think he's wanting to here. It's tough to really say like what's going on with that car, what's really giving him so many headaches, but if I had to take a guess, it probably is just the overall control and speeds that you have to really work with. This car, as we've even seen now multiple times from the NASCAR drivers, is a car you actually have to work the wheel. You actually have to figure out how to hold the line, how to hold stuff down on the track. Otherwise, it's just going to give you more of a headache and of a mess than you realize. Aaron Smith, though, having to work his way from the outhouse, moving his way up into the proverbial suites, if you will. Moving up closer to that White House section. Moving into the field now, has a little bit of a push here. The 46, Chris Medford, him and Medford now looking to move the chains on in. One of the biggest things I look forward to today, of course, was obviously just the drivers with the most experience, the most control out on the track here. Would they be able to manage these cars and manage their well? And so far, that is a resounding no. Nobody's been able to even get these things to stay in touch, to stay under control. Even Chris Wally here, the number 5, you see him spinning out off turn 4. He goes back into the grass. He's having a lot of troubles down there in that 5 machine. And again, you're probably wondering at home, like, why is that? Like, why is he struggling so bad, and why is some of the other drivers not struggling? Well, I think a little bit of it has to do with the fact that they're not trying to overexcel the throttle a little bit. I think they're really being more cautious and prepared for those exits here, and I think that's what's helping Wally. I think that's what's making Wally so difficult here to really get a grip on the track. Saw him look at kind of got a little too aggressive there, kind of spun it right around. I do like the idea though of seeing drivers struggling to keep these things online, because it makes the racing, in my opinion, that much better. It's like you're driving the toughest car on the toughest tracks and on the toughest circuits. I mean, why would you not want to watch that? Why would you not want to try to see like what they can do with it? That to me is very interesting. It evens the playing field out, but it makes the racing that much harder to master. David Tremblay here now looking to move the chains up in the 90 and that 96 here. Looking to go right down the low here, put up some at the Wysocki camp here. Doug trying to hold him back. Tremblay with a little bit more of a runoff here. Gets a good little charge going into turn number 3 and got the bottom lane locked up. And that's the key to success here, is locking the car up on the right places and at the right time. Trying to avoid the other contentions and the other troubles here. Brian McCann, by the way, literally a 2.5+ second lead on the rest of the field. He is not going to hold back an inch today. And again, really, like, why would you want to hold back? Why would you want to even try to think about worrying what the other drivers are doing? You know, trying to see if they're going to save their tires up or not. If anything, to me, with these cars, getting a lead, getting out to an early lead is the most smart strategy you can do, because you can use that for later on when you need to get a little, when you get a little loose, get a little tight. The car actually has some leeway, some freedom to boom around. Whereas drivers, they'll push themselves back behind you. They'll try to force with each other. To me, with a long run like this with 150 laps on the line, I'd be pacing it. I wouldn't even be worried about trying to race it out. I'd just be trying to pace it off for a long time, and then when the time came, then start to really race it harder. Ooh, Brian Rose here, a little charge there. Brandon Meffer as they went up into the hillside of the turn 1 and turn 2. You can see that little slope that kind of rises up to give these drivers that little push in that gap. The G-forces and the forces you feel just doing that. Absolutely amazing and insane to me that they're able to hold themselves down as well as they do. But again, these cars are designed to help keep the rhythm intact, keep the vehicle in place. Vincent Short and Brian Rose, the Holler boys, right now doing a tremendous job staying in charge and staying in the control zone. They are right now the only team out here looking to maybe put up a little fight, put on a little show here at the other drivers. Harger, the next up on their list. But Brandon Efford, man, he's not exactly just letting the 89 go away that easily. Kind of sneaking his nose right down on the inside corners, now pushing it right through down on the back stretch into turn number 3 and 4. Doing everything he can down there and make something work and make something best out of nothing here. Looking for another runoff here down that front straightaway. Good charge here from the 83. Now looks to try to make the clear cut pass. And he does. Very successful there. Tim Schofield actually now going to punching his way in. Looks like Brian Rose might have burned tires up just a slight bit too much. Needs to be very, very careful about that. This old surface, this old worn out track, this place will give you an absolute headache and a nightmare to struggle with if you do not time it just right and you don't figure this track out quick enough. It may seem like they're just going into that single file draft zone package you usually see on the other mile and a half, but the thing is with this track is that when the tires start to burn off and start to really tear you up, then the long distance run forces everyone to really rethink their plans and rethink their strategies just a little bit more. Garth Conway right now in the 82. You can see right here what I was talking about earlier, that struggle of holding the car on line. That little bobble there off turn 3 was due to the fact that the G-forces of the car literally swinging it right up to the outside. Without tire grip and without tire management there, that car has absolutely no way of holding down this line. The 54 Cook quick now seeing very much opportunity here. As the 82, Carson Conway got it clipped up right down there, crossed it over onto the bottom, back into the fight. Cook quick though. Nah, letting him by that easily. He's going to sneak right down the bottom lane now, charge it up. Cranking it up just a little bit here and cranking it down on the track. So why don't we do Mustang? Let's crank it up here on Pete's Racing TV. They're mean, they're lean, they're fighting machines, all right. They're still continuously in a hard-fought fights here right out of the gate. Battle for second still convincing here. Cody Harger holding back Brandon Medford, Vincent Short, and Brian Rose at the same time. But let's take a look up front here to Brian McCann. Take a look at the lap time zones here. And, well, there really is nothing to talk about other than just him just completely nullifying Harger's runs. Look at this. 10th and a 10th and a 10th and a 10th. And sometimes even 2 tenths. I mean, do you really want to try to compare Brian McCann to not being a former champion on this show? I mean, he has literally found every run, every momentum under the sun. This guy is a player and a half, my friends, and it's scary how tough it is to beat him out or try to outrace him, especially when he's doing stuff like this right now. Knows he's about halfway into the run here, into that stage here, and I guarantee you he's watching very closely at the overall package deal, overall racing situation here, especially with the drivers kind of getting closer and closer to the ends and the runs. Brandon Medford here looking to make a corner pass real quick before we go to commercial break here. Look for the last dive down into the bottom. Got the run, got the momentum. Rose and Short will follow. We'll cut to a commercial break in a second. The race is too good though right now. We gotta watch this one. Vincent Short trying to hold back Brian, trying to help Brian Rose get him back into the field. Although Vincent getting a little closer than I think maybe Medford was expecting. Oh, they really stuck it right in the nose and stuck that car right in position. Medford backs off, doesn't want anything to do with it as Aaron Smith now sneaks his way into the track. Into the war zone he comes. He wants every ounce of these drivers. He wants every piece of them. Brian McCann may be fast, but I'll tell you right now, Smith is on a whole other level right now. He is completely driving this thing into the ground and on town around the track. Still gonna give it everything she's got here, looking for anything kind of momentum-wise he can pull up, anything he can really use to his advantage. Trying to strengthen the run, trying to hold it down. Medford going up top a little bit, opens the door more to Smith. Smith trying, and I mean trying to get the grips and the reins of this track. It's so difficult to do though, because again, you're literally dancing with the devil up there, really trying to make a move off or two. Once you hit that wall, you hit that bottom apron there, you might as well see your car go by and toast it. And without using the bottom then to the outside for the fullest of extent of a push and a run, Smith has no way of getting around Medford. Medford continues to block it. You can see right there, just touch charge right there, enough is on the outside. And that little draft as well, look at this, it's just incredible. The slingshot maneuver and the push that these cars can get, it's just absolutely crazy to me. I still remember watching those 550 horsepower races, and I still, to this day, kind of despise them a little bit, and I did not like them very much. This is a whole nother story. This is literally like what we wanted to know. This is what we wanted to see. Was could these cars, once they got that 670 in there, could they perform the racing moments and racing fatigue that we wanted to see? And the answer, without a doubt, is absolutely yes. It absolutely can. This is classic side-by-side battling back and forth, no holds barred, old school drag-out racing. That's the way we like it. There's nothing pretty about it. There's nothing bumping and banging. There's no side skirts and panels being torn apart. It's just 2 or more drivers putting a car out on the track and just racing with their hearts out. This is what we want to see. This is what we like to see. Brian Rose now having to be the gatekeeper, if you will, to that one's run here. Rose trying to hold down on the track side here, trying to give himself a little bit of breathing room here. As the one of Smith now finally gets a little charge off on him. I think we were supposed to cut to a commercial break already, but that kind of went out the window here. It seems like once you get kind of slowed up just enough, then the car literally just starts to build the momentum back around. But I'm going to be honest with you, I would usually expect a little bit of trouble from the dirty air. I'm not seeing that dirty air being a problem here, actually. These cars pretty much have nullified that. It seemed like they've now found a run, found the extreme power and the momentum that they need to hold up to. Alright, well, real quick, folks, while we go ahead and try to cut through this race, we'll let them battle just a little bit longer. We must cut to a quick commercial break. When we come back, though, it's getting hot down here in Concord, and there's some serious racing going on. Will they be able to keep it going? Find out when we return. Tonight's race, ladies and gentlemen, brought to you in part by our good friends over at Spartan Logistics Management LLC, by R&R Racewear, the official iRacing merchandise store, as well as for the IROC Challenge Series. Loud Pedal Gaming TV, smashing the loud pedal for your viewing entertainment. SimSpeedShop.com. Track Time Entertainment. 5-Star Graphics. A big thank you from all of us here on the PT Race TV side. Thanks as well as the iRacing IROC Challenge Series for your support. We cannot thank you guys enough. While we were away, nothing really changing up too much on positions wise, except for Smith and Method and Brandon, and of course Vincent Short there having a little bit of a fight off their hands. The rest of the field just kind of working their way around the track here, trying to find openings when they can, trying to stay out of trouble when they can get to it. There's a little bit of a battle going on behind in the top 15 area here, 16-17 right now. Matt Kopp at 22 and the 40 of Jeff Napier. Having a little tussle, if you will. Yeah, it seems like every time we come out on these tracks here, it seems like we're getting better racing, better hardcore moments here. And that, to me, is what really we've always wanted to get to, and was what we've been kind of hoping for. I had my doubts, to be honest with you, with this car when they brought it out, because, again, I still do not like that steering pinion whatsoever. It's just, I cannot for the life of me get used to it. I'm so used to driving those late models, those super late models, and admittedly, yeah, this car is supposed to be designed to be the toughest to drive and the hardest to handle, but I mean, at the same time, I would have thought it would have been more kind of what you would feel on a super late model rather than what you feel with this car. It's just all around, it's a bit of a handful and a bit of a head scratcher here as caution flies out here. It looks like that is going to be down on the track side here. Driver's getting a little squared away. Chris Wally has a problem down here on the front straightaway here, and unfortunately, the Sim Speed Shop number 5 looks very, very damaged up. We'll take it down to the PTM Instant Replay. Take a look at this. Remember, though, there are no instant repairs here, so once you damage your car up, you've damaged your car up. There is no going back. Presented by SimSpeedShop.com. This is your PTM Racing Instant Replay. And it looked like he just swerved a little bit too hard, and looks like the car actually kind of took a little bit of a bounce there off turn 4. You saw that rear end kind of like kick up a little bit, and then next thing you know, it got all sideways there. A little bit of a wonky lane there, unfortunately. And it looks like that was the case here, as our producers may need to learn to get their eyes checked when they're doing these broadcasts, because I don't think they're supposed to be showing that screen there when we pull these up. Thank you. Sorry about that, folks. Another look at it here. This is the onboard camera here in the cockpit view. You can see it right there, man. Car got really out of hand, out of line there, and swept on by. Gets swept off the track and gets swept off his feet. Chris Wally will have a lot of work to do here. Aaron Smith going to decide to stay on out. Brian McCann goes into pit road, so you know that's going to be a fresher set of tires on that 3 machine. Smith was going to have to be very careful about that. Which, oh yeah, by the way, Smith started dead last. He's in the race lead right now, and he was coming up quickly through the lead, so I don't think there's any denying that he has some power under the hood today. So field right now, after a little bit of these hard racing, hard battles off the first set of corners and off the first set of turns here, everyone kind of squaring up a little bit to the track. It's one thing I absolutely love to see right now is drivers kind of getting more and more prepared for the fights on their hands. Carson Conway in the 82 looked like he was going to stay out for a little longer here. He goes into pit road, and as now, might be trying to temper up the fuel line, maybe signify the strategies here he wants to play into. Cook Quick, though, was a lap down, so he's going to have to get that back here. Getting that lap back definitely will help him out big time here, I would say, but it still is going to be a bit of a struggle for him right now because he is further back in this field, you can see. And this is not a field, if anything, I would want anything to be in the back of the pack here unless I had known there was some serious speed under my hood. Highly respected driver zone, highly respectable everyone out here. They have always been keen on just racing harder, racing cleaner, and being more objective about how they hit everything up. You've admitted such before, they could still be a little bit of a headache, if you will. But again, I've been in so many leagues and so many races anymore that's like anyone could be that way, and it goes for all leagues and all streams and races, even in NASCAR and even IndyCar and all them. In Formula One, you could probably guess there's probably a lot of headaches that go down just from every single race, not just one over the other. But hey, at the end of the day, man, once you get yourself in a clean group and a good group of guys, you can at least trust the race will be good, and eventually you gotta catch a break once in a while here. Double file back up on the restart zone here now. Drivers are getting ready to get back to the place and position here. Brian McCann is going to be your race leader yet again. Aaron Smith has opted to go into pit road now. And very interesting and really late strategy by the one here. I'm not sure if it'll hold up as well as I think he's hoping for, but I mean, nevertheless, bold strategy. But how wise, we don't know. All we know is you never can figure everything out completely until you put it down on the track here. "21 drivers clocked in tonight. 21 of the toughest iRacing IROC Challenge Series drivers to have ever graced here on PT Race TV, looking to make a showcase of themselves and really showcase their talent and control as playoffs draw near and all-star races draw near. All-star race is just a mere couple of weeks away here. Just to remind you, that will be on March 23rd or 31st. That'll be March. Oh, excuse me. That will not be any of the Marches, actually. At least I'm aware of. Now, March 10th, though, we will be back here on the show. Talladega 17th we'll have off, and then we'll be back. Oh, the All-Star race is the 24th here. As we get the green flag back on out, though, drivers are going to fire them on down here and fill this one into position. Parker watched what McCann did earlier. Now will he try to make a run on the number 3? Looks like he's going to try it. Oh, I drove up a little higher than I think he should have, in my opinion. You got to get that draft car lined up in position to catch him here, especially with how much momentum you got to try to hold the line down from. A lot of drivers now piling it right through the field, kind of crisscross applesauce and anything that moves in their way and moves into play. Kyle Bengrad with the number 14 right now, holding down Troy Radford in that 94 here as Radford looks to try to get some kind of opening on him. Radford not exactly letting off on that 14's run or that bumper. The Pengraph 14 has always been kind of a bit of a mixed bag. He's kind of a box of chocolates when it comes to his racing style. He can sometimes be extremely good and really characterized as a tough son of a gun, and then there's times I think he just kind of falls behind the boat just a little bit, finds the 8-ball a little too quick. I don't think really a lot of it has to fall under talents. I think he's got the talent to do it. I think the biggest issue is just he found himself in the wrong time, in the wrong place here. But Pengraph, man, if he can get it going, he can get it going. And I think Neil Quick is very well aware of that right now. That's why he's trying to make the pass on him coming down in turn number 1. Neil with damage on that right side of the car here. Remember earlier on, he did kind of find himself in a little bit of a troublesome spot. But I don't think anyone found themselves in more of a troublesome spot out of the gate than David E. Brown at 7. One of the fast qualifiers here. He qualified 3rd. And today he has already been pretty much shuffled to the back, thrown in the outhouse. Now has to find a way to get back through this field. Oh, a little trouble down there with the 54 though. Cook quick, off track, off centered, off pace. Gets the car back out on the front straightaway here, but boy, oh boy, that could have been a bad call there from him and his team. From one Mefford to another Mefford. Chris Mefford now is moving the chains on in. He's got 13 spots up on the field. Brandon Mefford right behind Brian Rose there, his family member and teammate trying to catch with it. Vincent Shore and Cody Harker still in each other's drive. They're line to sight. Brian McCann's already just starting to get a huge run on the entire field out of the gate already. It seems like this might just be his track, folks. I'm not going to lie. It just seems like he does not give an inch here. We've seen the 600-mile race here won by Martin Truex Jr. to literally a huge runoff and a huge field in, never really missing a beat or missing a stone, and almost leading the entire thing to begin with. But here in this case, it's not quite the same, and it's not quite the same situation. But Brian McCann definitely maybe kind of looking at that overall style, that overall run here, and use it full on to his advantage here. Take a look at the best times right now here. The time zone sheets telling you exactly what you need to know about these drivers and where they've been placing at in their positions and in their runs. Yeah, it's kind of surprising me too, is actually I would have thought with these next gens they would actually be running more towards that bottom lane here at Charlotte, but no, actually a lot of drivers are kind of staying closer to the top side here. I think a little bit of that has to do with the way the car is handling and the way the car works around the track. But I think at the end of the day, you really still have to be timing and being patient with this field and this kind of control of group, because at the end of the day, man, they will not hesitate to make you work for this. Yeah, the little 3-light salute there between her, Clark, and the 18, as well as the 1 of Aaron Smith, with Neil Quick kind of pushing it down on in. And Smith getting kind of tired there. Hunter Clark. Clark gets right to the bottom. Aaron goes up top side, takes the change, takes the arm, and takes the fight to him. Neil, though, on the outside, trying to push the momentum towards his way, put the speed towards his favor. Yeah, kind of surprised though too. I mean, at the same time, I've seen these cars really kind of get put together and kind of put on the track here a little bit and bump and bend, but it seems like these drivers are really being very cautious, very careful of that. They're not really wanting to have that happen here in this case. Don Harger saying he missed 48, hitting the wall too. Got probably did miss that one here, so I'm presuming lap 48, you said? I don't know if we'll be able to pull it up on our end here, but we'll take a look at the PTM Instant Replay, see if we can see it here. Hold on a minute, hold on a minute, hold on 1 minute. Chris Mefford with major trouble down here. The number 46 is damaged bad, and that rear end sliding right underneath him in the bad spot. Yellow is out, yellow is out. Oh boy. Well, I was just about to go check that one little lap there, see if you were right about that, and I think instead we might need to take a closer look at this little hiccup here. I was just saying how they weren't, getting into one another and then kind of putting bumpers and fenders together. And it looks like Brian Rose mistimed his shot there at the 46 of Mefford. He was trying to make the pass. Mefford was right up there with it, and he was trying to get inside, but it was a little too hard even for his own good. And Medford nearly taking out a field of drivers there from that little hiccup there. Let's take another look at it from the chopper cam here. Looked like from that angle here, it looked like Brian was expecting Medford to go top side, and instead he went bottom side and kind of drove it up slightly at him there. And I don't know how adamant that 56 is right now. But I don't know if I would want to be in their shoes right now. That's for sure. Take a look at it here, lap 48 here. Let's take a look at this replay. Usually we don't go this far back, but this looks like there was some little circumstances here popping up. You see the battle here between Hunter Clark as well as the two of Neil Quick and the one of Aaron Smith. This was the battle we were talking about that we kind of cut away from. Looked like there was a little situation here popped up. Quick here, the big move there. Looked like he was trying to pass him down. Aaron Smith on the outside, managed to hold that line down extremely well and conservatively here. Right on throttle off here at turn number 4. You can see a little slide dash on the wall there for the number 2. And unfortunately, that was kind of what gave him a little bit of trouble there with that 18. But nevertheless, there obviously the damage more so on the 46 here, Chris Medford, and the 89, excuse me, of Brian Rose. Damaged badly there. That's going to slow everybody back down to a crawl and back down to the tee. Over 100, just under 100 laps left to go. So drivers right now just kind of placing themselves around the track here, just getting ready for the next restart zone to set up here. Things starting to get a little bit more in their favor, more into their line of sight. 95 laps will remain here with about a couple more to go before we reach stage break. A lot of guys right now looking just to kind of stay equal and even out in pace and position, but again, they're all trying to hunt down the points race for Neil Quick as they get closer to the reset of the playoff zone here. That's the thing about them playoffs, man. You can run hard all the way through to the end of the gates, but if you're not too careful and you don't catch yourself in the right place at the right time, you may find yourself in a horrible circumstance. News coming out, obviously, if you have not known the iRacing situation in the iRacing community itself, well, let me give you a little refresher. It is right now week 12 and the officials leading into week 13, and next week we have brand new tracks coming onto the circuit and possibly brand new cars. Some leaked images have been placed around the circuits and around the shows, and we cannot wait to show you more of them. we do know I-55 Raceway is coming here on the scene on the iRacing side, and believe me when I say it, I want to get that one on this show so bad. That track looks absolutely phenomenal. It's a high banked 1/3 of a mile dirt track, and you guys know exactly how I feel about dirt tracks, but there was also a leaked image going around of the front wheel drive car that Dale Earnhardt Jr. spoke of a while ago, so I can't wait to see if that is true and legit, and if it pops up, got to see what happens when it plays out here as we go back to the green flag restart zone. Well, I'm not sure what happened to Vincent Short out of the gate there, and the fact that car did not get off the line. It almost takes the one of Aaron Smith with him. That would have been trouble. Hunter Clark in the 18 now looking to make a move on Cook Quick in the 54. He saw him diving down low there out of the gate. Boy, do these drivers not hold back at all when they get on these restarts. That much is certain. Trying to make a move, trying to charge it up quickly here while firing everything at all cylinders here. The number 1 though of Aaron Smith swings it down below the number 7 here, David E. Brown. Aaron Smith trying to see if he maybe has something to show with the boys, and maybe something to show with the one he wants at the most, and that is Brian McCann. Brandon Medford watches the onboard camera here as you see the battle going on between Smith and Brown. I think these last couple races, Smith has truly came alive on and really starting to shake center stage and center aim here, knowing what the 670 horsepower machine can do with the track here. Harger and McCann still evenly matched here. Harger trying to catch up to McCann. Brian trying to hold him back though. He's just trying to stay right in the line, right in the land of the smoking gun to hold him down. But you can see the trouble there off turn number 4. Brandon Medford gets way too hard off the corner. Slides it up way too much there and opened the door up. Shades fading, sky is starting to fall apart here right now. The track is starting to get a little bit cleared up and a little bit more on the heat side of things. Weather right now very beautiful, and sky temperatures and everything. Skies, well, there really are no clouds around here. We don't have anything to worry about there. The only thing you gotta worry about is those shadows kind of popping in and out, and then all of a sudden the sun just burns through your eyes. Some of those beautiful sceneries and sights of all in motorsports. We're down to about 15 laps remaining here before we hit stage break number 1. Or at least about 5 or 10 more laps, I would say. Maybe not quite 15. But Brian McCann knows he's not exactly running away from the field here. Harger and Smith are neck and neck, looking to shake the change and take the shot at him. And the yellow flag flies out. I guess I was completely wrong on when that stage break was. I gotta get these things written down. Stage break is out, and stage break has commenced here for the drivers. Top 3, Brian McCann, Cody Harger, Aaron Smith, top 3 in that one. Brandon Medford, David E. Brown coming 5th. Not bad ideals for there, the 7, as David literally had spun the tires on the start of this very beginning race. But ever since then, it's been on smooth control. It's been working its way around the track. Can he keep doing it? Hold on for the end here? We'll find out when we return. Tonight's race, ladies and gentlemen, brought to you in part by Spartan Logistics Management LLC. By R&R Racewear, the official web store for your merchandise needs of iRacing, as well as the IROC Challenge Series. By Loud Pedal Gaming TV, smashing the loud pedal for your viewing entertainment. By SimSpeedShop.com. By Track Time Entertainment. And by 5-Star Graphics. A very big thank you from all the iRacing IROC Challenge Series drivers, as well as us here at PT Race TV, for the support and the world you've given to these drivers. They certainly couldn't do without you. Field heads into pit road now. Pits are opened up. This makes you kind of wonder too here, what are these drivers going to be thinking here? What are they going to be aiming towards in pit side pit road, as you see them kind of pushing them up on the right side? That's the pit lane entry, and then they'll go straight down to their pits as they're heading into it. As the rule of thumb here on their rules package and deal, they must go to the right and then fire it off to the left. Aaron Smith getting a good pit stop there. He'll bring it right out on track. Brian McCann trying to hurry up, don't get ahead of him. And Cody Harker, oh my, almost clips the 3 of Brian McCann's lead there. Could have had it there if it weren't for that little slide bobble there. But nearly halfway into this race so far, man, I mean, the biggest thing I've noticed is just there's a lot of fundamentals being put on display and put on the track here. And I think these drivers are very well aware and keen on it because that's what they need to do. They need to stay focused on the big picture. They need to stay right in line and right in charge to get these cars to get the grip, get the draft, or maybe just stay away from the dirty air. But dirty air wise, it really doesn't seem like we were getting much of any of that. And I think a lot of that has to do with the transducers on the bottom of that cage there on the shaft and the body suspension. That's one of the biggest things that really help these drivers out. Tell you what, Scott's saying pretty cool retro paint schemes on some of the cars. Yep, definitely a lot of awesome looking designs and schemes out here. They've been running for quite some time here. For those that are tuned in to PT Race TV and you've never done this before, well, first off, thank you so much for your support and coming on board yet again. If you guys have not already and you want to help support and keep on with the show, we cannot ask anything else but other than just to simply come on board here and like and follow us up on Facebook. Head over to our YouTube end and subscribe there so you guys never miss the show and you never miss a beat. Without you guys though, this wouldn't even be possible. Man, I tell you guys what, next week here, coming down to the land of extremes, the land of the world that we know it. We're going to Talladega Super Speedway next week here on the show for Spartan Logistics Management LLC iRacing IROC Challenge Series. A track to me that now I'm very interested to see because of the battles we saw with Daytona. How will the drivers fare in these cars at Talladega, knowing they've got a little bit more of an open landscape, a little bit more of an open field to work with. Double filed up for the restart zone. Drivers now preparing for the action. Let's fire them off right off down off turn number 3 and 4 this time on by, leading them down. Green flag is going to be high in the air yet again here. Charge them up and the flag is up. We're going racing. David E. Brown will be your new leader here out of the gate with Brian McCann following on the outside. Well, that lasted long. Here comes McCann on top side yet again. Oh, but he's not alone. Aaron Smith now gonna put the boots to the 3. Can Smith find a way to make McCann work with this one? This is the battle we were expecting. This is the battle we were wanting to know. What happened when they put mono e mono together. We're about to get a taste of that and then some here right on the show. Brandon Medford now moving it right up there at Tim Schofield in 12, as well as David E. Brown. Brown slowed up badly there from not really entering into pit road, and also just pretty much kind of doing his own thing here, but he's going to have a little bit of a break here. Cody Harger, the 66, sliding it right in the grass. Good save there, though. That is one thing I am starting to notice with these drivers. They are able to save these things a lot better as of late. They've been able to get them more under control. That's one thing that I will say is getting better. That said, don't break my streak here. Don't break it. Oh, nope, he saved it. He saved it. Like I said, I'll stand by my little word take I just said a minute ago. You look out, Ben Graff. Hold on. Yep, saved it. Is this track just literally now starting getting spins and sideways momentums here on this track? I don't even know anymore. Tony Westcott saying, sorry I've been missing in action for a while, but hopefully we'll be able to watch more. Oh, Tony, you're all good, bud. It's always a pleasure to have you on the show when you can tune back in, man. I know work life and real world kind of mixes in. Believe me, I still struggle with that sometimes. We are now approaching halfway mark here with about 5 to go before that. Cody Harger on the bottom lane now, moving the 2 up slightly here. Neil Quick trying to hold him back. These guys are not letting off the throttle. They're not letting off anything here. They can't either. Really, that's the biggest thing. They've got to stay in that throttle, hold lines down to hold these cars in place. Oh, well, let me not say many more here. Trouble down here on the front straightaway. Troy Radford and the 94 as well as the 18 of Hunter Clark colliding in on the front straightaway. Worlds have collided here. Yellow flag is out. Third caution of the day, not including the stage caution there. And to the PTM instant replay we go. Let's take a look at this one. This is one of those situations you'll see pop up time to time here. Hunter Clark got into a wall protection there. It looked like Troy was trying to avoid it. Ben Graff got out of the way, but unfortunately, the 94 was not so fortunate there. That's just a bad spot to be in. That's really a tough rung to be kind of cut into. See the onboard camera here. You can see how smooth they got to keep these things under control. Once Clark got Radford there was really nothing you can do about it. There's not a driver in the world that can come back from that. Once you get tagged like that, there's really nothing you can do. You're just holding on for the ride. So Matt Kopp in the 22 now will pile it up into pit lane here, pit road, as well as the other drivers here in this case. Halfway point will be reached. Brian McCann here in the 3 and the 1 of Aaron Smith will be at each other's doors here, and the odds are ever in their favor, if you will. Things just starting to get a little bit more heated throughout this race and throughout this event. Let's take a look at our points race here now, entering into tonight's action. So here's how we are looking right after race number 12. We'll show you race number 13 here in just a brief fleeting moment. Well, we went into race 12. There was a lot of battles. There was a lot of craziness in between. A lot of guys just completely firing on all cylinders and giving everything they could here to make the best of their situations and their circumstances here. But going into the 13th race of this time around here, you're going to see in just a moment, things took a little bit of a change. Some drivers moved up in positions while others were still in their same positions, if you will. Sorry for the little broadcast beep there. There's not much I can really do about that. But here is the points list now after race 13. Here's how things have slightly changed up and things have evened out on the playing fields. You can see too just how much of a change that some of these guys are in the gaps and positions here. Neil Quick pretty much locked and loaded this entire season, but Brian McCann actually has a way to clip him now of that if he can stay ahead of him in this charge in this race here. Neil is struggling right now. This is not looking good for him and his crew. Brian is obviously hungry and desperate to get another season championship under his belt, looking to try to make a name for himself once again. No one has gone back-to-back yet, much less won 2 championships in the season fight in these season battles in these points races. But let's take a look at the top 15 here right now. Kyle Pengraff, David Tremblay, and then Doug Wysocki. That is a heated battle for that final 15 transfer spot, and really everybody involved in it know that they are one wrong move in a race from getting put into the cut line under that position here in race number 14. You've got to stay focused. You got to be very prepared for what lies ahead and what will bring to the table. This place, Charlotte Motor Speedway, has no troubles making even the best of drivers question whether or not it was a smart move to go out in the fight and put on the charge. Will that happen here, though? We're going to find out here in a little bit as the drivers now square away here, double filed up for the restart zone. We'll have 75 laps left needed to be completed. One more stage break coming up here on the show as well here for Pete Race TV and the Spartan Logistics Management LLC iRacing IROC Challenge Series. I am a little bit nervous right now just kind of looking at this field, kind of looking at this position here for some of these drivers, because some of them seem like more than others are pushing their limits and pushing themselves further than the rest. But then you got a couple of guys here that have actually just been trying to keep the car in one piece and trying to just lay it out to the last half. You got to remember though, laying out to the last half, you're then pretty much putting yourself in that position. Either you fight strong and win out the race, or you're going to end up finding yourself in the wrong end at the wrong time. Off the ledges of turn number 4, this time on by, lead him back down to the charge, get the green back in the air, fly it high, soar it to the sky. The number 1 of Aaron Smith now moving it right up to the chains here, getting some momentum towards the 3 of Brian McCann. Brian trying to see if maybe he can hold him back just a little longer. First time of all things tonight we're going on board here with Brian McCann. That's just how far he's been just completely destroying and nullifying these guys in the race lead. So he has got a lot of company there in that number 1 of Aaron Smith at the moment, trying to make a move, make a charge off on him. Looking for every kind of run he can. Oh, and a big wreck there on the back straightaway here. Carson Conway in the 82, wrecked hard on the back end. We've got a caution. Caution flag is out. I'm not sure. Carson literally just kind of got thrown into a bit of a sidewall scamper there. He just literally got tagged by someone and went for the ride. I'm not sure on that. The only way to know for sure, we're going to the Pizza Missile replay. He either drove it too hard into turn number 2 and the right side just completely furrowed into the wall, or he overdrove it. And actually, he didn't even touch the wall. He just lost it off turn 2. The way it looked like from our angle, looked like he got tapped or he got smacked a little bit and then went crashing, but no, actually it was the other way around, and the damage on that car right now is now at the point of severity. This might be too much for the 82 to get back in this race, unfortunately. And what a darn shame to go out like this. This is not the way you want to see a driver get put down, unfortunately. But this is one of those circumstances you just can't make mistakes like that. You know in your heart you have to be fast, you have to be quick. But this right here is just where you knew you just kind of did yourself in wrong, and this is where the car really forces your strengths over your weaknesses. You can see, try to save it, try to give the car a little bit of a chance, steering it to the right, but once the rear end was gone, it was gone. At that point, the only thing you can do is just pull the reins back a little bit, tighten the belts, get off the throttle, get some gas in it, get some braking in, if you will, and hope that thing will center off itself. Obviously, it did not there. And one guy I didn't even realize was kind of now making his way through the front. No offense to him, but David Trumbull, 896. I have no offense to David. I really wasn't trying to like make it sound bad. He's a good driver, but I did not expect. I was not seeing him actually move through the field here and coming through this charge. So credit to him for this. He's kind of got that old McDonald's scheme on that 96 machine here with the Spartan logo on it and everything. It's a very awesome looking piece of equipment. Very awesome looking wrap, very sweet looking design. And right now, honestly, he's got a chance actually to make a little bit of a fight here, a little bit of a showcase for himself. He knows if he gets too closer to that bubble here on the playoff end, he might be in trouble. Vincent Short, very well aware of that bubble as well. Knows he has been making way too many mistakes, way too many missed opportunities taken. But he does know next week here, coming up to Talladega, that could be the track that forces the hand of some drivers and gives him a chance out of here. There will be some locked and loaded guns on these restarts here now because these drivers are getting closer and closer to the ending and the finale. They know once they get that final set of laps here, they're going to have to push their fullest length, their fullest extent. Double filed up for the restart zone. Drivers now looking to bring him down to the Spartan restart area. And boy, howdy, these drivers are ready to get things going, get things kind of piled up a little bit more here at the Track Time Entertainment hard chargers as well, looking to be something to be kind of set on pace and set on momentum for. We've already got our track time quick timer in this form of Ryan McCann. Now will we get him as the race winner overall as well? Right to the turns and off the ends here. Every single driver kind of doing their own little thing, except for the two right up front here. They're just mashing the gas pedal and not giving two hoots about this one. Trouble down there yet again for Hunter Clark in the 18. Drivers trying to avoid and swear off him. They remain green though. Looks like Aaron Smith now with one last little shootout here with Brian McCann. Smith trying to get that race lead away from Smith and do the unthinkable, going from the exact end of the exits of the outhouse and go straight towards the luxurious suites of the White House. The 3 and the 1 are your battle for the race lead. Smith, maybe with a little bit of a fresher set tires, but has the draft in his playmaker here in his playbook. Brian McCann's trying to make sure he outclasses him though. The only way to do that is just hold the line down and hope for the best. This is good old hard racing here. You see Smith though, he got a little wobbly off turn 4. He's charging it. Had to wheel that thing off the track and off the corners there just to hold it down on line. Chris Wally, even with the damage on that front end, it still is holding up pretty good as well. Actually getting help from the drafting here. David Tremblay back behind the field a little. Even if your car is damaged up, it seems like you still have a little bit of a decent speed. We saw that happen a lot with a 550 horsepower package on these next gens at Daytona and Talladega. They would, even if they were damaged up, as long as they had somewhat of a draft to kind of fall back on, something to kind of work with, and it had a bit of a good set of tires, the car would work. It was just a matter of coming to grips and coming to terms with the car itself. Oh, and maybe not so much now here in this case. Big wreck right on turn number 2. And the 5 of Chris Wally's night might have just ended on a complete and utter disaster there. Troy Radford kind of put in the same boat as he parks it down into pit road. And unbelievable there, folks. What a huge hit right there, unfortunately. It looked like Quick pretty much caught the nose of the 5 here as they were going off turn 2. We'll take a look at the replay. Wow, huge hit, unfortunately, right there. Radford, I guarantee I really had no idea what the heck happened until it just kind of happened at him. That's a tough break there for him. Here's another look at Chris Wally's incident. You can see he just drove slightly down, quick, really no issue, really just a racing ordeal, really no issue with anyone trying to do it, but yeah, Wally, once he lost control off turn number 2 there, went straight down at him and everything just kind of hurt him in that run. Wow. That's a tough break there for the 5, unfortunately, and a really tough break there for the 94 of Troy, man. He definitely was not too thrilled about that, and I guarantee he's not too happy about it either. He'll have to come back here next week if he can, maybe make a little bit of charge at the rest of the field, but I guarantee you right now that 5 is damaged badly. He's going to have a lot of repairs to do on that thing. Probably just get it checked out, see what he's got up his sleeve here. Well, we got asked about who pitted and when and where, so Don, I'm going to show you the pit box here, the pit link strength here. This is what we've got on the store and on the plan here right now. Quick and short and pen graph, all just a little bit in the same boat, in the same ballpark they want to do to try to catch McCann and Smith, but Smith and McCann have just been completely riding this thing out from start to finish. Doug Wysocki doing much the same. David Tremblay, the only other one that really stayed out on pit road as much as McCann and Smith did. They didn't really want to go in too much, really do anything there, so kind of a surprise there. But as we take a look at our 18th through 16th here, Then we got a little bit of an overshoot here. Take a look at this. And you see right there, ran in Medford, I believe, in the number 10. Yep, in the 10th slot here, the 83. He's currently only on a couple laps of tires. And we see him with the speed he could carry earlier on just on a fresh set, much less on the born out set. So, I don't know. They might actually have a little bit of a shot here if he can get this one fielded back into position just a little bit longer. It's definitely going to be interesting to see here. Field going to work their way back around the track here yet again. Here, drivers still struggling to just stay out of trouble or get out of problematic zones. About 60 laps remain here on the show and on the track. This is only about 5 cautions in total. We'll bring these guys back around here and send them on down. Double filed restart is set to be placed into effect and placed down on the track here. Coming off the ends here, turn number 4, we're down to the final 60 laps here, race fans. Here in Concord, we know you've enjoyed the show so far, race fans here on Pete's Race TV. We hope you're doing much the same. Off the restart zone, we're back underway. Tires seem to be holding up okay when it comes to not breaking down a flat. At least we've seen everybody put these things back into pit road when they're supposed to and get out of trouble from there. Chris Bedford here with the damage though on that 46, man. He is still hard on the work and hard on the charge, trying to make something work down there to his advantage. David Tremblay looking to stay back behind the field a little bit. Now looking to completely nullify that by pushing this car to its limits. Working with Doug Wysocki as tight as he can, as quick as he can here. But there is something going on down up front here. We have a battle for the race lead. The victory sought, locked up. Aaron Smith trying to get the better of Brian McCann here. No stage breaks coming to an end closer than he sees it. McCann and Smith back and forth. Both drivers season champions in their individual season. McCann 2 seasons ago. Smith last season. Defending champ versus the former defending champ. Which one outplays the other? I've been waiting for a battle like this for quite some time. These two are not giving an inch to one another. You might as well call it a side-by-side drag race here from IndyCar, because these two are not giving an inch, nor are they touching these cars whatsoever. Kyle Pengraf now on the outside line as well. Number 14 trying to make a move off on the number 15 and 2. Vincent Short, the 15, the 2. Neil Quick on the gas pedal, on the loud pedal, if you will, trying to mash the momentum and send it down to the show. Looking to sling the mud right in their favor and maybe make this move off just a little bit quicker than they'd like to. Cook Quick in the 54 right now coming out right at Neil Quick and Vincent Short here, trying to make the ever-elusive passes and the charges around. Neither one of these drivers obviously going to give up or give in. A little contact slightly made there. Vincent Short got a piece there. Kyle Pengraf. Pengraf though holds the line down. Short holding it in play as well. Pengraf, man, this is the first time we've seen him in a while really be able to get that 14 on a full length charge and on a full run set. And this is exactly what I was talking about earlier. He's just kind of that box of chocolates, if you will. You never know if you're going to get the good stuff or if you're going to get kind of that kind of just okay stuff. Pengraf tonight, it's not okay. He is literally all on the throttle and gas pedal loud, hard, and charging. Yeah, quick bobble there off of turn number 3 and 4. That was a big mistake there from the 2 machine. He knows he can't lose too many positions up. Now with Brian McCann where he's at the moment. Every driver for themselves, every single person for themselves here. Nobody gave an inch and no one gave out here at Charlotte Motor Speedway so far. It has been an absolute pleasure to see this battle and see these wars go on the track. Cody Harger, the 66, now trying to hold back Brandon Medford here in the 83. Medford on the outside looking to make a little bit of a fight off on him there, but you can see he's still swinging that rear end around, trying to make sure it does not get out of place and out of line. One thing I gotta admit I still enjoy and I still love seeing as well is just that little skew in the back, that little rear steer kind of being put to good use here. Medford and Harger have been known to really get each other in and around each other's cells a little bit too quick more often than not, but this time it seems like the shoe is on the other foot, and this time they're actually staying a little bit more straightened down and even keeled. The onboard camera here with Harger as he starts to mount the field off just a little bit further from Brandon Medford here. Brian McCann here in the number 3 trying to get up there to the number 1 of Aaron Smith here. Rose Horner at home here if they were driving different manufacturers. No, they were driving the Chevrolet Camaro here. Designed up next gen Cup car, of course. We've talked about this before here in these next gen series. They are designed to be the exact same on every single manufacturer, but because of some of the increments and some of the little design choices that Ford and Toyota obviously have with comparatively to Chevy, the Spartan iRacing IROC Challenge Series guys decided it would be a good idea to go with this design, this kind of setup here, which is basically make every single driver drive the same car out on the same track and see who was the best of the best. I think you guys kind of know my thoughts on that, but if you don't know it, really, I absolutely love it and adore it here. Smith and McCann literally just dead even with each other. Nobody opening the doors or giving any kind of chances or opportunities to strike with. Smith now looking like he might have a run here on McCann. It looks like McCann might be getting run back at him. Just when you thought these two couldn't leave each other alone, next thing you know, everything just kind of goes every which way to flop-sided. McCann trying to get the last bit here. The laps are winding down to the stage break. Stage 2 is about to come to a swift end. Smith going to try to hold back as long as he can here and trying to make sure McCann doesn't get that run. Pit road will definitely be an interesting telling of the tale. If Smith gets past here, he'll have a harder time getting around McCann here on that next set. Speaking of next sets right now, next gens, next now, putting the fields in yet again. Vincent Short, what a crossover down the turn 2. He just literally sung it straight down that back straightaway to get the move on the 2. Neil Quick trying to hold him back on the bottom line, though. Vincent Short is not letting up. The hollering has been egregious, and it's been absolutely tremendous to hear. And Vincent Short not giving out for his team. He lost Brian Rose earlier, but he's still out on the track. He's still fighting. Neil, though, man, just did not let off, did not let him by whatsoever. Couldn't let him get a chance at it. Lap 110 should be the stage break here. Smith looking for an opportunity to block McCann of any run, any kind of positions he can. He knows he will do whatever he takes, and he knows that dirty air is not going to help. So what does the result to next? Pretty much block the run. Don't let them by you. The rest will be history. That is how incriminatingly difficult this is right now. Now look at the huge gap, about 5.5 seconds away. This is literally how tough these drivers are racing each other out for this. McCann almost got an inside move there on the front straightaway. Couldn't quite get it to grip. Couldn't quite get it to click. Chris Medford ahead there of the 40. Jeff Napier by quite a margin here. The 40 though is not exactly letting off now. Medford is starting to be closed up on the gap side here. It looks like it might be time for Napier to make his move, make his mark well known. Looking to eclipse his run, looking to eclipse the power down on the end zone here. Big run there coming up from Napier. Medford trying to hold him back. Can't quite get it. Medford now having to deal with the added pressure of having to deal with a broken car as well as being passed on by some tougher drivers. Smith and McCann still one lap, just a few more laps to go. McCann did everything he could, but it looks like it might not be enough to get around Smith. Or will it? Here's an opening down in turn number 1. And just like that, things change up in a heartbeat. They change on a dime. Brian McCann has now got the run. He's got the momentum. Now can he make Smith work for this one? Look at Smith charging the outside. McCann getting a huge run on the inside, though. They are dead even. Fenders put together. Straight to the finish. Smith with a little bit of a push there on McCann. McCann tried to fire him off. Yellow is out. Caution is out for the stage break. Did Smith get McCann, though? The timing shows Smith got him by less than 0.003 of a second to the line. Unbelievable. Smith takes the race lead away, and boy, did he have a war on his hand for that last set of turns. But now, stage is set. Stage is an opportunity. The final stage commences. Points will be given out in stage 1 and stage 2. But let's guarantee you one thing right now here as we get ready to close this night out, folks. When we come back, Motor Speedway is going to see themselves an absolute barn burner fight on their hands. The race will conclude, but who will be in victory lane? Find out when we return. Tonight's race, ladies and gentlemen, brought to you in part by Spartan Logistics Management LLC. By R&R Racewear, the official web store merchandise line for iRacing as well as the IROC Challenge Series. By Loud Pedal Gaming TV, smashing the loud pedal for your viewing entertainment. By SimSpeedShop.com. by Track Time Entertainment. And by 5-Star Graphics, a huge thank you from the IROC Challenge Series drivers as well as us here at PT Race TV for your support and everything you guys have brought to the table. Cannot thank you guys enough. Cannot thank everyone for tuning on into this show. Watch that left side here of your timing sheet here as well as the scroll banner here right now. We're going to take a close eye on these drivers. Aaron Smith already in pit road. He's got a fresh set of tires being thrown on. Brian McCann's just getting his right sides on. He's got to hurry and get that left side on quickly. Smith coming up. Smith going to get up there right there to him. He's going to beat him out of pit road. By barely a car length there. Cody Harger's going to come away third, fourth. Vincent Short. Well, actually, it looks like Vincent Short will take this one up, maybe. Yep, Vincent Short. Then it'll be Cody Harger. Then Brandon Medford, your top 5 drivers out of that pit road exit. Taking a look at your points list right now here. And Neil Quick here again. If he has a bad finish here and Brian McCann's have cut a few spots up on him, he's already got quite a few more points in position here to take the race lead away, take the points race lead away. But again, here, this is not going to matter too much in the overall deal when it comes to playoffs here in a couple weeks. What it does is, though, is it does kind of put into the mind and maybe a little bit of fear, if you will, mentally to the two of Neil Quick as well as the rest of this crew. Now knowing they may be in for a very, very long rest of the season, a bit of a hard charging fight out scenario. They can't just overdo themselves and they can't just undershoot them. They've got to be careful here. They've got to make every turn, every corner, every pass, every move just right if they want to stay in line with this one. That's a good look at your points race right now as we lead into this one here. Restart zones are going to be very, very crucial to Smith and McCann here. Vincent Short, by the way, not done and out yet. I mean, if anything, these two drivers that have been fighting for that race lead make one wrong move or make a big crucial mistake, this could literally change everything here. This is what we came to see. This is what we come to see all the time. We have, ladies and gentlemen, 35 laps left in this race. It is anybody's guess, anybody's game plan here to steal this one away and take home victory, but which one will it be? You can feel the intensity. You can cut it with a knife here. These drivers have been absolutely at odds with one another from the very get-go here. But ladies and gentlemen, the time has come. Final stage now. Engaged. Stage 1 and 2 were interesting. Different finishers in their respective category. But now this comes to be the ultimate of charges, the ultimate of runs. Off of turn number 4, the drivers will lead him down on the ends and onto the sprint they go. Straight to the line, straight to the speeds. Green flag high in the air. A lot of battles undertaking right now here. Drivers trying to find a little bit of legs, a little bit of positions in through the field. Vincent Shore with a little bobble there in the 15, costing him precious time and momentum here, getting right around with David E. Brown, the 7. Kyle Pengraff from the 14 now moving right up with Neil Quick in the number 2 as well. Cody Harger and Brandon Medford having their own little Dyson slice battle here, and yet again, kind of restarting where we left off. The 1 and the 3, Aaron Smith. And all them battling hard here, but there's trouble down here on turn number 4. The 7, David E. Brown, wrecks it right hard off the exit. And his night pretty much done and over with here. His race is completed and under the wrong circumstances in his mind. What a tough break here for the 7. Let's take a look at the replay. This is hard to watch. Wow, right there you see the rear end, it just kicks right out from underneath him, and that sharp steering pinion and all that you have to work around, you have to fight up with. It just completely takes you for a ride, takes you for a loop when you're not used to it, and it did it again here. Man, that's a tough break there. Well, that's a hard shape there for David. It's good news. He is okay. He's out of the car. He's all right, but he's definitely not feeling mentally all right after that. That's definitely going to bug him for a little while, I would presume. What a tough break there for him. Field trying desperately just to stay out of trouble and really give themselves a fair chance here, a fair shake. Drivers getting all over the place here and really getting in that last rung of the race here. They know that they are starting to fall further and further behind the 8 ball when it comes to getting out of trouble and staying in place. They can't make too many mistakes here, and they can't doing any disadvantages to themselves or disillusions. They've got to stay focused here. They're going to be put into place yet again. Double filed up now, race fans. We're getting everyone squared away here yet again. Now the time has come to really bring things closer and closer together here. Field are going to be firing in all cylinders, looking for a charge, looking for a fight out here. Pace him down off turn number 4, this time on by. Back to the green flag. We go live. And these drivers right now know they've got a lot at stake and a lot going down here. They've got to stay clear of each other and clear of their heads. And no, they cannot be making much more mistakes here. What you don't want right now is a green-white checker to pop up. You don't want these laps to really fade away into obscurity and realize that you're going to have to work for even harder runs and harder positions here. Can go on the outside this time. Smith going to the bottom. Smith trying to block the bottom. Can trying to get a run on the outside, trying to make a move off for charge here. A little bit of movement back down there though between the 2 and the 15 of 83. Brandon Mefford's damage on the front end, maybe slowing him down a little bit too much. There's no good. Oh no! In trouble down for Vincent Short. Yeah, oh, big wreck here, unfortunately, in the 15's race. Oh no, huge wreck there for the 46 of Chris Mefford as well. Guys piling up on the turn on the front straightaway. Off the turn and onto the front stretch. Huge wreck here. Good lord. Oh my gosh. You know, this is the scariest part about racing sometimes, is just it's such an unpredictable nature. And this is exactly what I was talking about. This is exactly what they did not want, was more laps lost in the shuffle. Vincent Short, you can see right here, he just overdrove it. He just overdrove it. Kyle Pengraf, that's where it happened to the 46, got clipped in there. Unfortunately, Pengraf really couldn't do anything about it. He didn't have anywhere to go, much less any control of the car. There really isn't anything you can do about that there. But, you know, we're going to take a look at Vincent Short here. We're going to take a look at his onboard camera, and then we'll take a look at Mefford's here. Just see right here, man, off turn 4. One bobble, that's all it took. That hard racing, but unfortunately just flipping that wall the last bit and realizing that he had found himself in the wrong place. Chris Wally there looks like he got a piece of it too. Not sure where he kind of got thrown in line there, what exactly happened there to him, but man, that was a huge wreck there, unfortunately. Last camera here to look at from the instant replay. Pengraf really had nowhere to go, and neither did Mefford, and I apologize to those that get dizzy. Yeah, believe me, I'm getting dizzy just watching this again. I've always hated being in these wrecks, because these are the ones that just they make me get the worst headaches. So they give me like just the most nauseous feeling ever, and that's the reason why right there. Well, if the drivers didn't already have to be thinking about everything going down on the track right about now, I think you may want to think a little bit twice about it here. I mean, we've cranked it up, we've cranked the engines up higher, we've pushed these things to their limits, but now things are getting very close to a perfect disaster, if you will, and a crazy line off run. So at the moment, those that really, if they don't look at like what the 12 is or what the 46 ended up looking like or what the 5 of Chris Wally is right now, they are going to try and stay out for the longest of times here and try to give themselves a fair chance here. Wally, man, the damage on that car is just absolutely tremendous. That thing, it would take at least a 500 lap race just to get that thing cleaned up and fixed and fully put back together. If he wanted any chance to have a car that looks like what he had earlier, I guarantee you there's at least a good 50 minutes worth of damage to clean up on that car. Matt Cobb, just by staying clean out here and not getting himself in trouble. Doug Wysocki and Cook Quick, they've all now moved up top 10 rankings here. And again, this is just that situation, man. You can figure out a way, stay out of trouble. The car will work with you, and it will be good to you here, and that's exactly what you're seeing right now. 20 laps remain here. Aaron Smith, Brian McCann, absolutely at odds and war with one another, but Cody Harger, Neil Quick, Brandon Medford, they've been kind of like the lone three with Vincent Short kind of mixed in that have absolutely tore down the house. Kyle Pengrath and Vincent Short did much of the same earlier, but unfortunately both drivers kind of getting into that wreck, unfortunately. Those circumstances kind of really bringing everything into play and into perspective here. We are just mere laps away from finishing this one at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Pacing their way down off of turn number 4 this time on by here, race fans. They are going to bring these guys and gals back to the restart zone, back to the green on the hard charge, back to the start. We're back underway. Oh, and Cody Harger and Brandon Medford, they're going to be a thorn in the side of the 3 of Brian McCann. McCann now knows he is not going to have any help anymore. He's going to need to work his way around the 1 of Aaron Smith, and he's going to do it just right now. Look at him slam that throttle down, put the pedal down to the metal. Here comes the pass off turn 3 and 4. Aaron Smith trying to hold him back, trying to hold the line down. 19 laps remain. And the yellow flag flies yet again, and maybe that was the move of the night that possibly will get him into victory lane. But we'll have to find out, because right now Brandon Medford finds himself in the outhouse, unfortunately, and in the dumpster fire. That 83 has now trashed itself in on the front straightaway, and just an absolutely heartbreaking moment here. There was a huge battle going on between him and Cody Harger here for this second spot, the third spot I should say. I thought Medford saved it here, but yet again just finds himself in the wrong place, the wrong time. Matt Kopp gets a piece of him there. It doesn't look like it damaged the car up, surprisingly, but here's the full extent of this replay. Watch this battle here coming off with really no end in sight here from him and Harger. This is what got him in trouble. The car was already loose. He catches the apron. Once we were loose going into the turn, it's hard to kind of come back from that. It's even harder to come back from this. Just a complete 180 in the direction we had the first couple stages, really bringing us something clever and interesting to watch out on the track, and now things have completely been nullified and resurrected into a different situation. But Brian McCann, my friends, how about this? He just flat out lays the floorboards on that one of Aaron Smith. And he did not give him an inch. He did not give him a chance. And again, he had to do that. He had to do that if he wanted a chance to win this one. Field getting closer to the end. About 15 laps will remain here when we get to the restart zone. Dakota Clark in 38, kind of just sneaking his way around the track. Gonna be a silent assassin like some of these other guys here. Everybody has just been pretty much locked and loaded and staying under control throughout this entire race. Hard to believe they've been so focused and so under control that really they've been keeping a close eye and a close figure on this. Watching every single angle, every single turn, corner, entry, exits. Field the drivers back in. 15 laps remain here. This one is going to come down to the wire one way or another. These iRacing IROC Challenge Series drivers have not given in yet. They will not give out. They will continue to fire off everything they've got on the table, trying to make a statement here. Off the corners of turn number 4, green flag high in the air yet again. We're going to lead the track down one more time by 15 laps left. Who wants it more? Smith, blocked by Harger, trying to get a run like he did up, like McCann got on him earlier. And the field now stretched up. Harger trying to make one last ditch effort to get to Smith and maybe make a run for it. But how hard has the tires been burned up and how bad are they dealing right now? Cook quick immediately sneaking his way there with Neal. Neal needs to get at least a top 5 finish to have somewhat of a chance to resurrect his lead and keep it somewhat intact and in bay. Brian McCann today has literally been lights out in the stages and has been pretty much getting all the points he needs to take the race lead away from Quick and the points. He needs a top 5. He needs Smith to make a move on him here. Smith giving him plenty of room, plenty of openings here. This could go either way. Time starting to fade off, starting to slow up a bit here. The 54 now moving right up there towards the 66 and the 2. Cook maybe looking to give him teammate and family member a little bit of a hand here with Harger. It looks like Harger got it just a little bit too off center and off pace here. Gave him the door and opened it wide there. Center it back down. Smith has already caught McCann. Looks like he saved his tires and looked like he made the right move at the right time. I thought when McCann made that big move, it was literally a dive bomb, last minute opposition move to get around Smith just for that last bit in case if there was going to be a green-white checkered. It worked out, but did it work long-term enough? Running it down, a little 3 wide salute, entering in turn number 1 for a brief fleeting moment. Vincent Short in the 15 looking like he may have had a kind of little bit of charge, a little bit of a fight on his hands there with Matt Kopp and David Tremblay. I think Tremblay and Kopp trying to just avoid any kind of circumstances or any kind of scenarios that's going to damage up their cars here. Jim Schofield now moving up closer to the 15 here. Looks like he wants to make a move off or two. Get a little bit sideways there though, he'll hurt his momentum. The position is getting closer and closer to the end. 10 laps remain. The one of Aaron Smith knows if he does not make a move now, he could be in a green-white checkered problem. And he knows if McCann gets that green-white checkered attempt, he'll forcefully get that run on the restarts. That's where he is at his best, at his peak. Smith needs to make a bold move. Does he go with 5 to go for the run, or does he literally do it now and hope that if a caution comes out, that green-white checker doesn't affect him? You know the tires are going to get affected here. Smith is not going to play dumb here, though. He'll play smart. He'll make the move when he needs to. Doug Wysocki, Cook Quick right now. One last little heated fight in the mid-pack side of things, or in the top half. Wysocki opened the door up for Cook Quick. Cook with that steely, sneaky slide spot right in play. Just absolutely pounding the throttle away right past the 34. Jeff Napier in the number 40 still looking for one last ditch effort, one last little position or two of passing in momentum. Napier is not a guy that, as of late, that's been putting up with any of these situations or any of the stuff that the drivers have been throwing at him. It seems like he is coming to his own little world and really pushed momentum towards his favor. Biggest question I have is later down the season, can he start using that towards his advantage and towards his effect? Because really, his championship hopes are kind of out of the question. Really, a race win would be good enough for him, in my opinion. 6 laps remain, and Brian McCann still with the race lead. Aaron Smith in the 1 doing everything he can to just get this one finished. Kyle Pengraff, little problems down there in the 14. The damage so severe it's slowing him up again. Dakota Clark and Tim Schofield now going to have a little bit of a fight on their hands. Schofield trying to hold back that 38 here. Clark looking for a runoff, looking for a position or two from him. Schofield slowing up, but you can see so is number 38 of Clark here. A little smoke down there on that front straightaway entering a turn number 1. It might have been from Kyle Pengraff there. It's kind of hard to tell from that angle. I'd say it may be him, may not be him. Hard to really give you a concrete answer. Looking at it right now, though, here in the battle for 6. It's going to be between Napier and Wysocki. Napier with the big move on the bottom lane. 14 spots up for the number 40. And Napier has just been completely lights out these last couple laps, trying to drive this thing into the ground and in the dirt here. really making sure that every single one of these guys knew that he is not here to make games or take team. Anyone, he wants to strengthen the moment and strengthen his chances here. Smith is starting to get slowed down a little bit here. Brian McCann getting further ahead. Looks like the momentum might be lost. Although we saw that happen at Fontana here at Auto Club, and that was when Kyle Larson literally just did the slingshot maneuver. Is that what Smith is after here? Is he saving the tires up for one last slingshot? If he is, he's going to have to try to hold he's not going to hold back whatsoever. He's going to need all the momentum he can get because we're down to the final 2 laps. Green flag high in the air. 2 laps remain. Aaron Smith paying very close attention to what he's going to have to do. Will he get a runoff on McCann here? Looks like he's not getting any speed. You can hear the RPMs just kind of decreasing. That is not a good sign. Brian McCann will charge it to the white flag now. White flag is out. Smith is not getting any momentum here. Brian McCann has got the one with all the momentum. It looks like this one might be all but wrapped up. McCann just needs one more good set of turns. He's had his fair share of good luck. He's had his fair share of bad luck. Tonight there was nothing else to it. This was all pure racing skill and speed for Brian McCann and the number 3 team. Coming to the line, Neil Quick will come away 3rd, 4th, Cody Harger, and 5th, Jeff Napier rounds out top 5. A great race. Well, there he is, race fans. Read him and reap and give the man his due. Race number 14 belongs to him. Yeah, it's victory lane celebration here for the Brian McCann show because Brian is going to win this one here in his home track advantage here. What an absolute thriller and a fight on his hands that he had to endure with these drivers. The race results are now popping up on your screen, though, presented in part by R&R Racewear tonight. Brian McCann with the W. Victory to him. Aaron Smith really just kind of got caught off center and off guard from the last-ditch efforts of McCann there on that big move, on that big run he got on him, and then it was just pretty much from there. He didn't have enough left to get it. Neil Quick goes 3rd, 4th to Cody Harger, 5th to Jeff Napier, 6th to Cook Quick, 7th to David Tremblay, 8th to Doug Wysocki, 9th to Vincent Short. Matt Kopp goes 10th, rounds out the field. This was certainly a wild, frenetic race from the get-go, and drivers now preparing to talk with us here. Top 3 will be joining me here in a minute. Neil Quick comes away here with a solid 3rd place finish here now, so we'll join him now as he joins us here on P3 TV. Ladies and gentlemen, your 3rd place finish here tonight. And the number 2, this is Neil Quick now on the show. And Neil, congratulations on our top 3 finish here, sir. But I would say I know the points race lead doesn't really matter to you at this point, but I would say probably more than anything you may have lost it here to McCann due to those stage finishes and everything today, sir. Neil, you got a copy, bud? Hold on, folks. Might need to get this fixed here. Neil, you got a copy?
Yeah, I got you, man.
Alright, do you need us to repeat what we said there?
Yeah, I didn't get it.
Alright, so I know the points race here and the points lead may not matter as much really at this point or really at all when it comes to the playoffs coming up here, but I mean at this point you've really put up a great showing and a great showcase for you and your team, but it seems like Brian McCann might have now outdone you with these stage finishes and the points here, but as a driver wise, I mean, what does it mean for you to really just kind of come away with yet another podium finish and getting some major points kind of coming through the field?
Well, especially like on a night like tonight. I mean, I really made a mistake early on and just kept digging myself out of the hole to got myself back up there, back in the top three. So I'm ready for the playoffs. I think I got something for Aaron and Brian, and really excited for it. And I think there's going to be some good racing. I mean, there's some other guys that are very very strong too. So just kind of dug myself out of a hole. It was a lot of work tonight.
Certainly, indeed. I know there's a lot of tough battles and tough moments coming up here. Obviously, the playoffs definitely going to be a big factor in that. Is there really a track there that you feel like is going to be a big situation or big change up in the field for you and the drivers?
I think the wild card in any race is the super speedway races. Um, I look forward to some of the tracks like Darlington and so on. But yeah, the wild cards are definitely going to be the super speedways, just like next weekend going into Talladega for the final event for the regular season.
For sure there. Well, nevertheless, here, Neil, obviously a solid third place finish for you and your team and a big get here for you. So I'll ask you this, sir. Who do you want to thank here for this one?
I'd like to thank my sponsors, of course, R&R Racewear, WR1 Sims, um, Chris Wally, 5 Star Graphics, uh, all the guys that put the league on. Congratulations to Brian on a strong run tonight, and we'll go back after it next week. So looking forward to it.
Absolutely, indeed, Neil. We do appreciate your time here today, here, sir. Congratulations on the third place finish here, and we'll catch you here next week.
Thank you.
Neil Quick, ladies and gentlemen, here coming away with a solid third place finish, excuse me. But coming away here with a second place finish here. You may have taken stage 2 home, but the race win just a little bit out of sight. But Aaron Smith still coming away with a solid points get and points day here. Aaron, congratulations on that second place finish here. And really, I mean, this was just absolutely pandemonium there on that final lap of the stage 2. You two literally go side by side, dead even. It looked like literally 0.003 of a second from what we gathered here to the line between you and McCann. But then comes the final stage, and now all of a sudden McCann catches the big run on the end of turn 2, and that's kind of what it ended up doing you in, wasn't it?
Yeah, I knew it was coming too, so it wasn't too big of a surprise, but I didn't really have any way to guard against it. If I block, I probably get myself turned, and if I don't do anything, I end up getting passed, and that's what happened, unfortunately. But I'm glad I was able to take home a second place after all that. Started from the back and drove through the field twice before stage 1, so I certainly don't have any complaints.
Certainly indeed, and obviously being the defending champ still in that playoffs locked in spot now, and also the All-Star race coming up. What does it mean to you there to really now start to tune the band up and really tune this thing up a little harder to get faster and a little stronger out for the championship?
Yeah, I've started to get a feel for this car. I'm still lacking in staying power over the course of a long run, but I feel like if we can get the ball rolling in that regard, I think I should be pretty tough in the later stages of the season. So I'm looking forward to it.
Certainly a lot to look into and certainly a lot to figure out here. But Smith, tonight you have figured out at least enough to get to the podium and yet again another second place finish here. So I'll ask you this, Smith, as you come away second, who do you want to thank here tonight for this finish?
I'd like to thank all the folks at the IROC Challenge for putting this show on, youth broadcasting, and all the folks for watching. Looking forward to getting back at it next time.
Absolutely indeed. We cannot wait to catch you back out here, sir. Congratulations on the second place finish, and we'll see you next time here on the show.
All right, thank you.
Aaron Smith, ladies and gentlemen, and the number 1 coming away tonight as your second place finisher, only behind the man with the hour, the man with the power in his home track. Brian McCann comes away with the victory here, and Brian, first off, congratulations, bud, on this one. This one really was boiling down to just between you and Smith from the get-go. Smith had to go from 20 spots up to catch you. You were the number 1 qualifier, and it seemed like if that last caution didn't that caution didn't kind of come out to help you out to get that big charge in that run, it could have really gone either way between you two. Well, we don't have a copy here from Brian. Brian, you got a copy there, bud?
My bad, I was muted. Hey, yeah, Aaron came up from the back of the pack, and boy, he gave me some strong competition there at the end. He got around me in stage 2 on the outside, and I didn't know if I needed to protect the inside or outside, but I chose the inside. He went outside and got around me very easily, so I was like, oh, whoops. So then, you know, I wrote that down in my notebook. And then there was a restart there where I don't know what happened, man, but I got a huge run coming out of 2 and just sailed past them. And I think another caution came out at that point. But, you know, that put me back in the lead. And that clean air is just wonderful. Once you get that clean air, the guy behind is at such a disadvantage. But, yeah, I mean, overall, it was a good race.
With now knowing how that clean air works, as well as how the tires get affected with this next gen, I mean, obviously I know a lot of you folks were kind of a little bit weary when they were under the 550, but with the 670, how much of a difference maker does it make for you and your team to actually start to now make charges here with these cars, especially when you got runs like this?
I struggled at the beginning of the season on that low horsepower, and I never figured that car out. But now I figured it out. It something has happened to it where it matches the other cars in the iRacing, you know, content library. So it helped me out there a whole lot when they did that update.
Certainly indeed. Well, nevertheless, though, obviously a championship could be in sights and could be in the mind of yourself as well. I've taken the points lead away here from, looks like, the Neil Quick camp here in number 2. So, Brian, as you walk away here with the victory here in your track, hometown's crowd obviously rooted you on here tonight. Who do you want to thank you for that?
My wife, family, everybody watching tonight, 800 some people watching. No, I'm picking. Everybody watching the broadcast, you know, you for putting this show on, Wally, and everybody behind the scenes, all the sponsors. Thank you.
Thank you for coming on board again, Brian. Congratulations, man, from first to first all the way to the end. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that really wraps up here for your showcase of Spartan Logistics Management LLC iRacing IROC Challenge Series. A big thank you again, though, to Spartan Logistics Management LLC, R&R Racewear, Loud Pedal Gaming TV, SimSpeedShop.com, Track Time Entertainment, and 5-Star Graphics for all your support and everything you guys done to the fans at home. Thanks so much for everything as well. I love you guys from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for tuning in to Pete Race TV. Friday night, we've got another showcase from Backfire Sim Racing. And then Saturday, if you weren't paying attention to Twitter, we've got the final of the 4 license classes to be presented on the show. That's right, Rallycross Racing Time, baby. Saturday night, you don't want to miss that. But for now, we're going to leave it at that. I love you guys from the bottom of my heart again. See you guys here when the green flag drops once more on PT Race TV. It comes down live tomorrow night.